It's Britney, bitch. I see you.
It's the kind of house they don't build anymore. A relic of a time when the world wasn't in such a hurry, when there was still time for a little charm and elegance. It has stood empty for a long while, and at the price, it is a bargain. For a growing young family, it is almost too good to be true.
What do you think?
I love it.
In the Amityville Horror.
Hello?
Hello, Kathy? Father Delaney, there's something very important.
Mommy, I want to go home.
What do you want from us? I'm coming apart! Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
28 days after the Lutz family moved into their dream house, they were running for their lives. What happened to them is an experience in terror you will never forget, and you will believe in the Amityville Horror.
Hey guys, this is Brittany, and welcome to this year's Halloween spoof video. So today, if you guys didn't already guess, this is the Amityville house that I have built. I feel like a lot of people probably don't know much about this house. I'm going to give you guys the backstory on this house, since a lot of you probably are not, as I said, very familiar with it. So this is going to be quite a bit of information I'm going to read to you guys. So I'm just reading all this off of my phone. The house is a large Dutch colonial home that was built in the early 1920s by a family called the Moynihan. And they lived there for generations until 1960, when they sold it to the Riley family, who would only live in the home till the summer of 1965. In the 1965 was when the DeFeo family would purchase the home and would name the house High Hopes. In the early mornings of November 13th, 1974, 6 members of the DeFeo family were found face down, murdered, shot in their bed. And it is said that this all took place around 3 a.m., which is really interesting because that's the witching hour. That's when ghosts are the most active from then till dawn or whatever. And something I do want to add in before I continue on to what happens next. The house was built above an ancient burial ground, and how they buried the Native Americans, I believe at that time, if I read this correctly, it was stated that they buried them facing down so they couldn't see up in death or whatever. So that was really interesting how that took place, and how all the family members were also found face down in their beds. So around the same time that the eldest son was being sentenced to prison, the Lutz family moved in with their 3 children, and they only stayed in the house for 28 days. And they had stated that they experienced paranormal activities since day 1 of moving into the house. And they reported experiencing as the following. And as I said before, they only stayed in the house for 28 days until they could not take it anymore, and they just left. And they never returned for any of their belongings or anything. They just literally left in the middle of the night. And then about 2 months after that had happened, they invited paranormal investigators into their home. And that included the infamous Ed and Lorraine Warren. They came into the house and they formed a seance, and both Ed and Lorraine Warren had mentioned that they could feel a very dark, heavy energy in the home, very demonic.
Places like Amityville. That if you gave me $1 billion, I wouldn't go in the house again, because it messed up my life and my husband's life. Terrible, horrible, horrible place.
But after that investigation, the Lutz family returned to the house back to the bank. And then a year later, in April of 1977, the Cromartie family bought the home. And when the Cromarties bought it, they were unaware about the book that was about to come out. During the time that the Lutz family, when they had fled the house, they did a book deal, and they told their story of what they experienced in the house. And the Cromarties that bought the home, they were unaware that that book was about to come out. So when they moved in, they dealt with a ton of harassment from tourists, like, coming up to the house. They were dealing with people driving up to the house, passing by and stopping to take photos of it. They were littering on the lawn and such, and even walking up to the front door, banging on it and stuff. Like, people were just harassing these poor people that lived in the house, and it was all because of the book. Everyone was just curious to see what the house looked like, and they just wanted to know, like, did all that really actually happen? Like, is this house really actually haunted? So this continued to go on while they lived in the home for the few years, and they would only stay in the house until December of 1978, when they moved out, not being able to take any more of the people coming up to their house and stuff. They just could not take it anymore. They wanted to sell it and just be done. And then, a year later, the movie came out in 1979, The Amityville Horror. And after that came out, they had a really hard time trying to sell the house. I mean, which obvious, because the movie really portrayed it as, like, this house was, like, possessed, like, this house had evil in it, like, nobody wanted this house. So then they ended up giving up and trying to sell the house, and they've moved back in until 1982, when they reached a settlement where the book that was being sold that told the experience of the Lutz family. In the settlement, the agreement was that the book would no longer be printing a true story on the cover. And then they finally did manage to sell the house in August of 1987 to longtime Amityville residents, the O'Neill family. And then the O'Neill family, they purchased the house for $325,000, and they removed the iconic quarter moon windows, the attic windows that look like eyes. They removed those windows when they bought the home. And then, along with that, they also filled in the pool. So they basically got rid of the pool, they filled it in with cement, and it became flat. And then the O'Neills only lived in the house for about 10 years, when in 1997, they sold the house for $310,000 to a guy, we'll call him Mr. Wilson. I don't really think I want to say his name because I don't know him, so we're just going to call him Mr. Wilson. And what he did when he moved in was he fixed up the boathouse in the back that was connected to the garage. And he also built this extension sunroom that I have built here. So this was not a part of the original house. Like, he added this sunroom on, but I built it on my version because I really like that sunroom, so I wanted it for me. But this was not added until he built it in 1997. And then skip ahead a couple of years. So then he sold the house in September of 2010 to the D'Antonios for $950,000. They lived in the house for only 6 years before they put up the house for asking for $850,000. And this sold March of 2017 for $605,000. And here's the really interesting part. So every family since the Lutz family have moved in and lived in this house, not one single person reported or experienced any type of, like, paranormal activity. See, here's the weird part. Did the Lutz family, did they make up the whole story of the hauntings? Or did they really actually experience something? I'm not going to go too much into what I think because then we'll be here forever. But to sum it up, basically, I did some research. So the mom and dad were into, like, the occult stuff. They were very spiritual and they welcomed stuff like that into their life, whether it was positive or negative. I think what happened was, because the house already had 6 people that were killed in it, so that energy was already there from people who died. I forgot to mention this in my notes, but the family that lived there that were murdered, it was a very strict and difficult family dynamic. Like, the dad was really abusive and controlling over the family. So let's not forget that the house already had bad energy in it to begin with that family being murdered, and of course all the fighting that they did when they lived there for the duration. I think along with that energy already in the house, and then you bring this new family in where the mom and dad are already into that dark stuff, I think that just kind of stirred everything up. So I think they did experience something. Do I think the house is probably haunted today? Probably not, because it's been so quiet everybody has said for so long. Like, nobody's reported anything. So I don't think it's haunted today, but I think something did happen when they lived there. And I think whatever was there, they took it with them. So like when they moved into the house, it came with them. And when they left, then that energy left with them, if you guys get what I mean by that. So that's what I think really happened. And they did actually admit later on that a lot of the details in the book were over-dramatized. So they did experience something in the house, but they over-dramatized a lot of it for Hollywood. Because, you know, Hollywood over-dramatized everything. But yeah, other than that, let me know what you guys think. And if you guys like the house, let me know down below. So without further ado, let's get into the tour of the house.
and I'm seasick.